Hi, it's Chris. In this video, we're going to be talking about best safety practices for an appliance technician. There's a lot more to being an appliance technician than just knowing how to fix an appliance. There's a major part that's very important, and that's safety. So the first thing we want to talk about, as an appliance technician, how do you keep yourself safe? So anybody that works on appliances knows one of the most common things to happen is getting cuts, bruises. So you're going to need something to deal with those. You're going to be down on your knees a lot, and most of us learned this the hard way over time. Whenever possible, wear knee pads, or even have the pair of work pants that have the knee pads built into them. Saves your knees, and if you look to be into this career for a long time, it's a must, because knees is one of the most commonly worn out parts of an appliance technician. As well, you're constantly going to be having something that you're working on where you're bending, cutting, twisting, pulling. Things can break, things can fly apart. Safety glasses are a must. Have them in your toolbox. You may not need them on all the time, but have them in your toolbox so you can get them when you really need them. As well as you're going to be doing a lot of lifting and dragging. Appliances are getting heavier and heavier, and they're being built into areas that are even harder to work on. So somehow you've got to get those appliances out. So you're going to want to make sure you've got some sort of additional back support or equipment so that you can move that appliance easily. So the next piece about being an appliance technician and safety is safety for your customer. Customers love to be there watching what you're doing, so you have to be aware of where they are while you're doing your service. The last thing you want is having them stick their hand in while you're trying to do something, having the power turned on, or you've got a sharp, jagged edge there that they may cut themselves on. So as much as you have to be respectful for them, they have to respect your work area. So don't hesitate to be polite and ask them to step back if need be. As well, you have to think about looking at some of the connections that go to these appliances, be it electrical or gas or whatever. You have a responsibility to make sure that when you leave that job, that all components going to and from those appliances are up to code, and if they're not, you have to bring that to their attention. And as well, you may want to make sure you do that in writing so that not only protects you, but protects the company you work for. Another thing that's very important as being an appliance technician is company safety. And this is that the person you work for is providing you with the proper equipment for you to do your job. And it's your responsibility to make sure that that equipment is well looked after, and if there's any problem with it, to report it back so that they can get it resolved. You're a major investment for any company you work for, and it's important that they do everything they can to keep you safe so you can do a good job for them. And the last part I want to talk about as far as safety is the customer's property. You're in there doing service on their behalf, and their expectation is you're going to fix their product, and the last thing you want to do is not respect their property. And you need to make sure that when you leave, it looks as good as it did before you came in, or just as good. You don't want to do any harm to the customer's property as far as damaging anything, marking up any cabinets or flooring or anything like that. But from a safety perspective, you want to make sure that you've cleaned up everything that you've brought into the home. You don't want to have tools laying around. You don't want to have pieces or old parts laying there that the customer can trip over. You want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to fall off the counter while you're working and damage the floor or damage the sink that's beside you. There's certain little things that you can do in order to keep the work area safe and protect the customer's home. So as a professional appliance technician, you not only need to hone your technical skills, but you also keep in mind daily the safety requirements in doing the job to keep yourself, your company, and your customer safe. Thanks very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did and you'd like to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. And while you're at it, swing over to Fix.com and check out our blog.